Hey, it sure has been a while, hasn't it?
Yep, exactly 3 weeks. Thanksgiving got in the way.
Yep, couldn't do that because, well, Thanksgiving and such.
Families and such.
Yep, got to deal with families and very awkward dinners with the conservative uncle.
Oh, dude. My whole, fucking most of my family is conservative, and I'm like,
Oh, okay, this is going to be fun.
Like, the thing is, I'm a moderate. I'm a self-proclaimed moderate. I mean, and in the way that I think both sides are fucking idiots. Mm-hmm. I agree with some things from the left, some things from the right. I probably lean more left. In fact, I know I lean more left. Mm-hmm. But fucking I can't stand like
those uncles.
Yeah,
those conservative uncles trademark.
I find liberals to be a bit more palatable than conservatives. I can't stand either of the extremes of both, like the far left or the far right. Mm. Both of those are equally infuriating to me. But when it comes to normal conservative and liberal, I prefer the company, I'd say, of liberals most of the time.
Yeah. I hear you. But I didn't get to deal with any of that stuff because my uncles are just usually having Thanksgiving dinners with their families.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just Thanksgiving dinner. It's just hanging out with my mom, my dad, my sister, and we just eat together. And that's about it.
Yeah, I have a huge fucking family to where our Thanksgiving is literally like stuffing in one of those giant tinfoil platters.
Oh.
And like and you know, turkey all already cut up, and like it's like a buffet because there's so many people.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, food-wise, it's great.
Because you're going to have a lot of leftovers the next day.
We had a second Thanksgiving dinner because of the amount of leftovers. The next day, family came over again to finish off the leftovers.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Yeah. But that's how big the fucking family is.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that it's going to be the same thing for me for Christmas, except instead of turkey and stuffing and green bean casserole, it's going to be tamales.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Dude, you know, like, the thought of people buying tamales at a store is just insane to me. Since I'm half Mexican, I always hang out with family from my mom's side, and they always make tamales, and it's just there, ready to be eaten no matter what.
Homemade.
Yeah, homemade tamales are so fucking
just
good.
The words Christmas tamales. Tamales. It gives me a little bit of a food erection.
A ferection.
Yes.
Not
to be confused with ferection as in fear erection.
Oh.
But this is ferection, food erection.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Difference. Completely different scenarios. Boy, are you embarrassed if you get a ferection when you shouldn't be getting a ferection. When you should be getting a ferection, but you got a ferection.
If you know what we're saying.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So, tamales are just basically Mexico's lumpia, so to say.
Lumpias are delicious too. Holy shit. Yeah.
Remember that one time I brought back lumpia? When we were at Zach's old house? I think it was on Christmas... No, not Christmas Eve. It was around like fall. Like, I went to my coworker's house, and he had, like, platters full of lumpia.
Yeah.
And he's like, my friend, take some.
Lumpias are so good.
I'm like, okay. And then I told Zach, and then he responded that you just shouted lumpia. He's like, this is what Trevor said. Lumpia! And I'm like, alright. I guess I'll take it with me.
I had a friend in high school who was Filipino, and he would always show up when we'd hang out. He'd always show up with little Dixie like water cups, like you'd see in a doctor's office, connected to the side of a water tank. But slightly bigger. He'd always come with those, filled with lumpias with Saran wrap over the top, just a bunch of them, and he would just hand them out because his mom would just make them non-stop, and she would tell him to hand them out to his friends.
Oh my god!
And it was so good.
Dude,
I loved it so much.
He could have made so much profit if he was like $1 for lumpia.
Yeah.
You would make so much money.
$1 for a little roll that big?
Oh my god, you'd be surprised how much people would go for that.
I wouldn't pay $1 for a lumpia. As much as I love lumpias,
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't pay $1 for a single lumpia. Are you kidding me? That's $1 per bite, basically.
It's got to be homemade, free.
Free range.
You just got to go to a Filipino's house during a party. You'd be set for...
I went to their house again. I talked to a couple other friends of mine that aren't Filipino but are still Asian, and this is kind of like a thing amongst most Asian families.
Yeah,
there's always like a rice cooker filled with rice at any given moment. But yeah, when I went to his house, the rice cooker was always filled with rice. So when any time someone was hungry, they could go get food, and their fridge was just stacked with stacks of Tupperware filled with various fucking things to put on the rice.
Oh my god!
I remember back then. I remember specifically one Tupperware that had fish heads in it. Like it was like a fish sauce with fish chunks, but the fish heads were still in there too. I didn't have that one because at the time I wasn't a huge fan of fish, or at least wasn't brave enough to try fish heads.
Yeah,
but I totally would try it now. Like.
You're more adventurous when it comes to food.
Yeah, but it's delicious. There was just so much good stuff. I did have, that very same day, one of the worst sweets I had ever had in my life, though. Because they got, even though there was all that food in the fridge, they still ordered out. And we got, because he had company, so they ordered out from, I think it was still a Filipino place. But I remember these little fucking... They gave us, instead of like fortune cookies like you get from a Chinese food restaurant or something, they gave us these little cookies that I shouldn't really say cookies. It was like a bread.
So it's like a moon pie in a way.
Not really.
Minus the chocolate.
Think of fuck. What was that bread? Think of. I can't remember. Think of like the bread that's flat on the bottom, raises a little bit, and has like the drizzle on top. Like that. Like it's like usually like a sugar drizzle or something like that, and it's like crusted.
Yeah.
You can get them at that bakery next to Tokyo Central and shit. And you can get them in Tokyo Central in like packaging and stuff. But they were a little bit smaller, and I don't know what was up with these. I took a bite and it was like a dirty sock like had wrapped itself around my tongue. It might be durian actually. This might have been a durian dessert. Like now that I think on it, it might have had durian in it. Yeah, it reminds me of descriptions of things that people said that durian was in. So it might have been actually like a dessert made with durian, and it was funky, and it was terrible, and that's what it tasted like. It tasted like onions and smelly feet. Like it was like with sugar on it. I was like, Everything else that day was glorious though, food wise, but that was just bad.
Oh hell no! What the fuck? Gross. No.
That being said, just to confirm, now I'm gonna have to go try
the fish
durian.
Yeah.
Oh, not the fish. No, I mean, I would try that fish thing, but I'm gonna have to try durian by itself just to try to make sure that that's what I tasted all those years ago.
Doesn't durian smell like
corpses?
Like corpses or farts?
Yeah, it's the smell is so strong that you're not allowed in certain countries. You're not allowed to bring a durian onto the the train, public transit, because it smells just way too bad.
Well, yeah, I bet. Jeez. So, what has happened in the past 2 weeks, or the past 3 weeks since our last podcast?
Well, I came to a realization today. I shouldn't really say that I came to the realization today, but it's something that I had noticed, just taken mental note of here and there over the years. But that being that I'm apparently a pretty threatening guy when I'm walking down the street.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there were at least 3 people when I was walking here today that got uncomfortable walking on the same side of the street as me.
Really?
And would like they would look back and see that I was like walking behind them, and so they'd like stop off to the side to wait for me to pass or something like that.
Oh,
and this has happened ever since I was in high school. Ever since I just for a little visual, I'm a 6 foot tall, 290 pound man, bald man with a big beard, and that tends to unsettle a lot of people.
Oh my god.
And so like I just and it also doesn't help that my resting face is a scowl. Like when I'm not trying to make any kind of face, it's naturally a bit of a scowl. So I've got that resting I'm gonna fuck you up face, and it doesn't do me any favors when I'm walking down the street because I'm a huge bald bearded man who looks like they're about to murder you.
Oh my god.
And nothing could be farther from the truth. I'm never gonna accost someone on the street, but that doesn't stop people from getting wary. Like the women cross the street, parents hide their children. Like it's fucking terrible.
Damn.
And it's hurtful, motherfuckers. It's hurtful to a degree. But yeah, like, do you ever have people cross away from you while you're walking on the street, or
not really?
Because it happens all the time.
I mean, maybe it could have happened, but I just don't remember. Maybe it's happened behind me or something like that. But I don't really come off as a threatening type of person.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a fucking baby face, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and a fro.
And a fro. That means nothing. It means, it's a 16-year-old kid when I'm actually 24. Did I ever tell you that? I was working, and the guy's like, "Oh, you still in high school?" I'm like, No. I'm 24. Oh, I thought you were 17. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
See, I've got the reverse situation with you than you do. Mm-hmm. Whereas you look younger, especially after I shave my head, I look a lot older than I am. I look, I'm only 27. I was told right after that I had shaved my head by someone that I look like a dad. Like I look like a dad.
Oh my god. So like 35?
Yes, 35, 40, like around 40, even though I'm only 27.
Oh my god. Yeah. The power of a beard and bald head can do wonders sometimes, man. Yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is, if I were to shave this beard,
you'd just be a walking baby.
I'd be a walking baby, exactly. I have extreme baby face. The only reason why... Well, not the only reason. I do enjoy having a beard. But one of the reasons why I have a beard and I keep it like this, people ask me, are you going to shave it? Fuck no, I'm not going to shave it. Because when I shave this, I look like Baby Huey fucking coming at you down the street. It's not a good thing. I will instantly go from looking like I'm a 38-year-old father to looking like someone swap the heads of a 38-year-old father with that of a fucking baby out in the fucking nursery. Like
oh boy.
Like I'll have the body of an adult but the face of a fucking newborn, and it's terrifying. So I'd rather keep the beard and keep the people thinking that I'm older than I am than shave this off and suddenly be some kind of fucking bald freak. Like,
jeez.
See, the problem with me is that I'm probably going to have to get carded until like I'm at least 35, 36 years old.
Yeah.
So probably another 11 or 12 years I'm probably going to have to get carded every time I go to a bar.
I never got carded in high school. I would buy alcohol for people. I was that friend because I had more facial hair than they did, and I looked older than I was. Never got carded. The day that I got ID, I got carded. So the day that I was actually able to fucking buy what I was buying, I got carded for it. I was like, where were you the past several years? Like
that I came in here.
Yeah, like
now you have the audacity to come up to me to ask for ID now? Come on.
But now it's off and on. Now sometimes I'll get ID'd by someone who's just, it's our policy. We gotta ID everyone. Yeah. And then most people just don't fucking bother. I'll go to a bar, no one fucking cards me.
I mean, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So this is the question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself in a scenario.
Yep.
You have a girlfriend.
Yes.
And then your girlfriend comes up to you and asks you, I would like to do a threesome with a friend.
Yes.
Let's say like a female friend.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to do it? Would you do it?
See, well, the simple answer is
it's a tough one, huh?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, like, all the people think, like, oh, guys, they'd all be into a threesome. Fuck no, because you know what? I've been on Reddit for a while, and that means reading R Sex, and there have been plenty of horror stories from men saying, we had a female threesome. Like, it was my girlfriend or wife's friend or coworker, and now our relationship's different because like they got jealous or some shit. So I've seen enough. I've seen enough fucking threads like that to where I'd instantly alarms would go off.
Yeah, you'd probably think I need to think about this.
I need to think about it. I need to make sure that you're all right with us doing a threesome.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that does belittle. Like, men are fully capable of having their own feelings and can be a little trepidatious about engaging in a threesome just because maybe they're not into it. Because not all men are into that kind of shit. We're not just sex machines. But I would make fucking sure that it's something that my significant other really wanted to do. Because if there was any kind of hesitation, I'd be like, nope, call it off. Swim in a boat fucking 5 miles away. I'm getting away from the situation. Fuck that. Yeah. So the answer is maybe. The more complicated answer, if it's something my significant other really wanted to do, then yes. As long as I was cool with it too. I mean, you can't take that out of the equation. As long as I'm fine with it, maybe I don't like this other person, or maybe I don't want to, be in that kind of relationship. But and then if they weren't cool with it, or just doing it because they thought it'd be something I would be into, I would be like, no, I'm not gonna. If you
just don't feel like doing it, then why are you even asking?
Yeah, like you got to realize when it comes to two women and a man, it is not really like the man's decision whether that's going to happen. At least as long as it wasn't his. If there's like you, a significant other, and then a third party involved, the woman is the deciding factor on whether or not this is going forward. Because if I'm already predisposed to say yes to a threesome, I would have to make sure that my significant other was fine with it. And then you have to make sure to pay a lot of attention to them during it.
Yes, of course.
Don't neglect them because there's so many. Why? The more I talk about, the more I think don't fucking do it.
So many rules.
I mean, I think a threesome is one of those things that's better left to fantasy, I guess.
Left to fantasy.
Because it's just such a minefield to walk into.
It's like you're walking around eggshells, basically.
Exactly,
and
but you're walking around eggshells in the dark with a blindfold on. Like there's no telling what could happen, what kind of feelings can be changed or stem from that, or what faux pas that you can inadvertently commit without intending to. So now that I think about it, I think probably no. I'd probably think no because it's too risky.
Let's say let me retract that and not say significant other. Let's say a female friend that you've known for many years that you completely trust.
Yes.
And
one of her friends or another friend of yours?
Another friend of yours.
So it's you and two of your friends.
Yeah, so basically you, a friend that you've known for a long time, and another friend that you haven't really known for that long, but you still trust regardless. would you still do it? It's not a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. It's more of like, you are curious. The girl you've been friends with for years is also curious on what this needs to, like, what's been happening. All 3 members of the party are in agreement to do that.
Okay, I mean,
would you be able to?
Yes, I mean, I'd be more open to doing it than in the previous situation.
Yeah.
But again, sex with someone you've known as a friend for a long fucking time is another very tricky thing.
Yeah.
That's one of those, that's either there's 2 things I've seen, but see, this is something I've seen on Our Sex Again that has a little bit better outcomes than all the threesome ones I've seen.
Yeah.
But there's still like one of 2 things. It's like either like you remain friends or like your friendship deepens because you're fucking each other, or you completely ruin the fucking friendship.
Yeah.
Because sex complicates things. But that being said, if neither of them were my significant other, I would be more inclined to say yes to a threesome in that situation.
Good answer.
Why? What were some of your... Because you said you asked your coworkers that. What was the...
Yeah, some of my coworkers said it was like, fuck no, I would never do that because it would be awkward in the end.
Yep.
And someone would say, yeah, I'd do it. I'm intrigued. They're intrigued. We're all curious. And in the end, if things get a little awkward, we can just laugh it off. Like, it's just...
Yeah, sometimes you can't laugh it off, though.
Sometimes you can't, but like, with the way they thought, it sounded like, oh, they've been cool for years. So like, it's not like...
Okay. What about did you...
I also did a scenario like, what if it's just 2 guys and 1 girl? If you did a threesome with a girl that you knew, and then the guy is your good longtime friend,
I'd be into that.
Would you do it?
I'd do that.
That's exactly what I say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
I'd do that. If it's a girl who wants to be with 2 guys and I'm buddies with the other guy, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll let the girl have her fantasy of having 2 guys with her.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I mean, it's not going to be awkward because, like, what? You see your
friend's dick?
It's like once in a lifetime. It's not going to fucking scar you for
And you
life.
don't have to look. I mean,
exactly.
You can be focused on the girl, but
it'd be pretty funny if like you're trying to focus on someone else and then you just see his face and then you see his face. He's like,
what if you both come out?
He just has like that weird look on his face. He's like
that pre-cum face, like he's right about to.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you doing?
Shh.
Don't talk.
I'm almost there.
Don't talk.
I want to pretend you're not here right now.
I know someone's here, but I'm just trying to block out the fact that you're here.
It's just a blurry bit in my vision wherever you are.
So just stay there.
Yeah. So yeah, I would be. I would be in that situation. Two buddies, 1 chick. I'd be more open to doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's 2 women and 1 dude, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah. A little tricky, but I guess 2 dudes, 1 girl.
Because then I assume that's something that she wants.
Yeah. When
it's 2 dudes and 1 chick, I feel that this was initiated by the female, and this is something that she fantasizes about and she wants. Mm-hmm. So I'm fine with providing that for her. When it's 1 dude and 2 women, I feel like it's something that either was proposed to the dude or it's his fantasy, and I tend to side with making fulfilling the partner's wants than my own. Mm-hmm. So it's a little harder of a situation.
I see. Yeah, we tend to talk about a lot of weird shit at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we asked one of our female coworkers, and she immediately thought of like when it comes to the threesome, it's like 2 girls, 1 guy, and she's like, no, fuck no. I would not do that with my friend because it's awkward. And I'm like, okay, it's understandable from her point of view.
It's also interesting to note that from a female perspective, it would be too awkward, her and her friend, but 2 dudes, friends, like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll be naked around each other and have sex with the same chick. That's fine, but for 2 women, it's like, no, it's too awkward to be around your friend in that situation. So interesting.
So yeah, I understand what she meant. So.
Yeah, I can see it too. I can see it. I mean, I can definitely see it's a little awkward. I mean, if you're not really good pals with this person, with the other dude, then I can see it getting a little awkward. Maybe you're only like slightly more than acquaintances or something like that.
Yeah.
That can be awkward. Plus, there does probably come a little bit of comparison. Like, am I performing as good or worse or better than the other person? Like that, you can feel you can feel a little inadequate. But I like I said, I'd be more open to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your opinion. I'm glad that I know that. If I asked Zach, he probably would not say a damn word. He'd probably be like, "Oh." Be like, "It's okay. You can be pure. That's fine."
Now, if I get a text here within the next couple of weeks asking if I want to be part of a male female threesome, I'm gonna have to give you a rain check. But if this was all just a vetting process to see if I'd be cool with that,
No. It was just a question that just popped up in my coworker's mind a couple of days ago. I just found it funny. I just wanted to hear your opinion on it.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely an interesting prospect.
It's good. Really glad we're hearing things on different sides of the spectrum here.
Well, apparently, I don't know about all the people you asked, but apparently we're on the same side of the spectrum.
That's the only side of the spectrum that I need.
That's the only side there is. Everyone else is wrong.
Everyone else is like, you don't want to do it? Well, that's your damn problem.
That's your damn fault. Missing out.
Yeah.
It's not gay if you don't touch tips.
Exactly. You just live life, man. Knock some things off your bucket list. Know what I mean?
Okay, well then let me this is going to be even weirder.
Okay.
Let me extrapolate. It's still a male female threesome, but the other man is gay.
Might as well knock something off the bucket list just to try.
I'd do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'd do it too.
Yeah, see? There you go. Knocking two birds with one
Yeah,
stone.
I mean, I know, I'm not gonna, exactly. Experience new things.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make you gay, but you just want to try it.
Yeah.
You're curious. As they say, curiosity kills the cat, but you're not a cat.
You're not
you
a
can
cat,
be
so you're
curious all
fine.
you freaking want. Exactly.
That one's probably a bit tougher if you were to ask your coworkers that one, though, because you probably might get a lot of macho answers that are like, no, fuck no.
Yeah, you're probably right. He'll be like, fuck that.
And there's no problem with
It's
it.
like, come on, man.
There's no problem with it.
I mean, you'd be fine with a friend and then like a female, but then you finally found out at the end of the threesome, you found out that your guy friend was gay.
I assume there would be a little bit of male interaction in this kind of event. I'm assuming these gay going in. Mm-hmm. Maybe the gay man's your friend.
Yeah.
Then so you know right off the bat, like, hey, things are going to get a little freaky.
Yeah.
Or no, get a little normal. I mean, it's normal. Like freaky maybe in your regards, but normal in the grand scheme of things.
I'll go bust out the smooth jazz.
Fuck yeah, dude. Just hear clarinets coming in from
I'll have Kenny G play in the background. He's just watching us the whole time.
Well, now it's a male, female foursome.
Everyone has to get
Kenny G
involved.
Kenny just likes to sit in the corner and watch though. So I mean, that's his.
He's just playing his fucking sax in the background.
you don't even put him on like the stereo. He literally is there in the house, like
there.
just playing in the side of the room, just fucking waving like an eel and playing his clarinet.
Oh my god, I love you, Kenny G.
Periodically, every time he goes to take a breath, ooh yeah,
ooh, ooh. So what's been happening video game wise for the past 3 weeks?
Well, fucking
we heard about EA and Battlefront 2.
Yeah, which is fucking woo! I am so glad they got the fucking reaction they did. I was so worried.
Yeah.
Going into it, like, because we've seen, because I watch a lot of Jim Sterling, the Jimquisition and stuff, and he's very anti-loot box and stuff like that, and he pointed out, like, back the Shadow of War, like Mordor Shadow of War. Ooh, yeah. Hiccup.
Middle Earth, Shadow of War.
Middle Earth, yeah, Shadow of War. And
how they had like pay to win bullshit and stuff like that in there. And that one didn't really. There's a little bit of controversy, but everyone kind of forgot about it. But it took fucking EA and Star Wars. It took the name Star Wars to really make people get pissed.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they had such a impact. Like it was such a backlash that they sold like less than half the copies at launch than the first one did.
Mm-hmm.
And that they had to fucking retract it, and that fucking governments were looking into whether or not loot boxes are gambling.
Yeah.
I love fucking... I forgot your name, but Governor of Hawaii, I fucking love you, man.
Oh, yeah, he was the one that did that, huh?
Well, he was one of the voices, but he was one of the biggest, like, most harsh voices, where he literally called it, in a press conference, a online Star Wars-themed casino aimed at children.
Yep.
And I was like, whoo! Whoo! Yes! Say it again!
Preach it to the folks in the back.
Now, I'm not a big fan of government sticking their nose into games because they don't really understand games and stuff. Like we saw this back when Mortal Kombat and fucking Night Trap and stuff were raising all kinds of hell, which led to the game industry going, well, you know, we'll regulate. We've established the ESRB will rate things and stuff like that, and it got legislation off their back.
Yeah.
So I am a little uneased about when the government comes in to try to regulate games. A lot of them don't understand the industry and the culture around it.
Yeah.
That being said, I am all for loot boxes being labeled as gambling.
Yeah, absolutely. I am all for it too, because that is just straight up bullshit.
There's a couple of governments labeled that it is definitely worrisome, but it's not gambling yet. Where because their whole point was, I think it was London or something. Like it was Great Britain said this that it didn't constitute gambling yet because the items that you were getting aren't worth actual monetary value. So as soon as there would be a perceived monetary value attached to the item you could or could not get, that's when it would step into the bounds of gambling. And I see that, I understand that, but they said even though we don't consider it gambling yet, it is very like troublesome, and it does prey upon those kind of feelings.
Yeah. Especially towards kids.
Yeah, especially towards children. Exacerbate. Like, you don't need to fucking make children already gambling addicts.
Yeah.
But it's seen in a lot of different industries. Well, first of all, when he said that the items didn't have a perceived monetary value, I instantly thought of the crates in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, because those skins,
that was
can be sold
for thousands of dollars,
actual money. So those boxes under that definition would be gambling. So
I remember that.
Valve may want to like look at that, like see and be like, oh shit, because under Britain's definition, that's
gambling.
That's gambling. Even though it's all cosmetic, it still would be classified as gambling, and no one really cares about those boxes because it's all cosmetic. The reason why EA got in such bullshit was because it really was paid to win. It was paid to get character advantages that would blow. I think one guy tested it. One guy tested it as Boba Fett shooting a character without any star cards. Is what you were getting, star cards, and it would take him around 12 shots to kill someone. What are you doing, cat? And then he put on the star card that would increase his damage, and it dropped to 2 shots to kill someone. That's a huge fucking... It might have been 10 or 12 shots, but still, it was a huge gap between the unstar-carded character taking a long time to kill someone, or a longer time to kill someone, and then
just doing it in 2 shots.
Yeah, and then with the star card that you could get through money transactions, it's a chance, all of a sudden now you're killing people in 2 shots instead of 10 or 12.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it was real gameplay advantages that people were just paying for. So basically, if you wanted to be competitive, you had to spend money.
Yeah.
And of course they're bullshit with how long it would take to grind a character. Mm-hmm. They designed the whole game around trying to get people to buy the boxes.
Yeah. Did they say like the actual cost of like getting every item from like loot boxes was a total of like $2,700?
Yep. I think it was $2,100.
So like $80 for the deluxe package.
Yeah.
Plus $2,100 on buying everything that you can from loot boxes.
Yeah, the $21 was like the bare minimum you'd have to pay if you didn't get any duplicates. Because it's still randomized, and you could still get duplicates. So if you didn't get any duplicates, it would have cost you $2,100 extra to get everything.
Wow.
And they back to the grinding thing. Yeah, they originally designed everything around trying to get people to pay by making, first of all, more than like half the characters, like the heroes or whatever, locked from the beginning. Mm-hmm. You can't access them in game until you've bought them. And in order to buy them, you had to spend a certain amount of credits. I forgot how much it was. I think it was like 7. I think it was like something like 400,000 credits or some bullshit. I don't know. It was a high number, and they then changed it to a much lower number. But it was basically they worked out that instead of if someone were to play in an effort to grind the amount of credits needed to get Darth Vader, they were using Darth Vader as the benchmark. They would have had to have played the game for 40 hours, not like off and on, but literally 40 straight hours, like 40 hours total of gameplay in order to get one character. And he's not the only one that's locked. Most of them are locked.
Yeah.
And by comparison, you could just drop money in boxes, which also give you credits to buy the character. And then they walked that back down. They walked that down, like, because that was one of the big like initial outcries. Mm-hmm. They pulled that down to a much lower number. But then they also lowered the amount of credits that you got during a match.
Oh.
So they effectively did almost nothing.
Yeah.
They just made a show about lowering the number, but then lowered the amount of credits you get for the match. So it still took roughly around the same time. And then maybe a little bit less, but still it was greater because they lowered the amount you got. And then on top of that, they had the single player mode would give credits, but only for a certain amount of runs until it said you had to wait a certain amount of time, like a mobile game, have to wait a certain amount of real life hours or days before you could get credits from this mode again.
Wow.
And fucking everything in here. And then recently, the CEO, I don't know if it was the CEO, but a higher up in EA was talking at a conference, and they said that the reason why they didn't fill the loot boxes with cosmetic items, like most loot boxes, most accepted loot boxes nowadays, was because they didn't want to mess with Star Wars canon. That they didn't fill it with cosmetics because they didn't want to mess with Star Wars. Keep in mind, this is a game where Yoda can fight fucking Kylo Ren on Naboo, which is not fucking canon
at all.
And they were worried about people running. And the example they used was no one would want a pink Darth Vader.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? I would want that.
Yeah, that's
I would
another thing.
want that.
I was when Jim Sterling talked about it. He's like, that would be awesome. And I have to agree with him. It would.
Yeah.
It would be great. I would love to see a pink Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So their excuse was that cosmetics would mess with the canon of Star Wars, and they didn't want to do that. So they're trying to push a little blame onto LucasArts or not LucasArts, but the Lucasfilms and mess with canon. Except in the last Battlefield, they had cosmetics, and then they found data miners found out the video dropped today, but data miners found out that there were cosmetic choices in the code for Battlefront 2.
Wow.
It's all there with other alien races, different troopers and rebels, and it's all in the game. They just had no access to it. So they had already put in a whole thing for cosmetics, and then shoved the loot boxes filled with pay-to-win bullshit, and then said we can't do cosmetics because of canon, which is a complete and utter bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. It's just pure unmitigated greed. Like, EA is literally Satan. Like, they are the blood-sucking vampires of the gaming industry. Mm-hmm. And to watch them try to backpedal when their shit has been turned back around on them, where the shit hit the fan instead of spraying out, it fucking flew back in their faces, is just beautiful.
Yeah, they got what they deserved.
But they're still going to try to do it. Like,
I
like the industry's still going to do like loot boxes and still going to try to find ways to make customers pay more than $60 for a game, which they already do with special editions and then all the microtransactions and stuff like that. They coined a whole term. EA coined a whole thing: games as a service. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you, you greedy, vampiric bastards.
So as Chappie says in the movie Chappie that I watched a couple of days ago. Why you lie? Why you humans lie?
Because they're greedy fucks.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I finally watched that movie.
I still have yet to watch that movie.
You should watch it.
It's so just
the
weird
fact
to see
that Diane those two are so fucking weird. But I love it.
It just didn't.
His name is Ninja. The lady's name is Yolanda.
Yeah.
What? What? They're actors in a movie. They train a robot to act like them. You see a robot, instead of saying motherfuckers, Chappie says, yeah, fuck mother. Yeah, that fuck mother. I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what was that one movie called? District 13?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something along those lines with Chappie. I was fucking wrong.
But instead it was bad?
It was no. Chappie was good. I liked it.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh, yeah. Even if Diane Wood's in it. It doesn't matter. It's fucking great. I love Chappie. The robot is so cool. Die, fuck mother.
Die, fuck mother.
So good. Why you humans lie? Why you lie? You hurt my mommy. Hurt my daddy.
He refers to Diane Wood as mommy and daddy?
That's what Chappie called Ninja
Yolanda.
Mommy and daddy.
I don't know. I feel it.
But Hugh Jackman's in it.
Huh. Is he a bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, that guy looks very familiar. And I saw the list of actors. I was like, what the fuck? That's Hugh Jackman.
I watched...
What?
Yesterday, I watched... I gotta say this. Amazon Video, I love you, dude. Mm-hmm. I love Amazon Video. I love Netflix, too, don't get me wrong. I'm not picking sides like Netflix over Amazon Video. I mean, I'm not doing that. I like them all. Fuck, Hulu's good, too. I like the fact that there's kind of entertainment options that aren't normal cable television and stuff like that, because I absolutely fucking hate the cable companies and the ISPs and stuff. Absolutely hate them. Which, yay, fucking net neutrality's gonna die here soon. Fucking shit. Yeah, fucking douchebags. Just trying to sell out all the American people with their regional monopolies.
Giving us loot boxes.
Saying it's gonna be good for the industry. Fuck you, it's not good for the industry. We've already seen what you do when we give you leeway, and it's you nickel and dime us for the lowest. We are on the bottom of the list when it comes to quality internet amongst civilized countries. We're on the bottom. We pay the highest for the least. It's fucking stupid. Yeah. And on top of that, with when net neutrality dies, it's gonna be. They're just gonna charge the fuck out of us. Everything's gonna cost money. We're gonna have shittier speeds and nothing's. And they all say this will help competition and stuff like that. No, it won't, because you guys don't compete at all. And they cut the whole. Everywhere is cut up. Like they share. They have regional monopolies. Mm-hmm. They don't compete with each other. They cut up the map, and they're like, we'll operate here. You guys operate here. We'll operate here. You guys operate there. And it's basically 1 to 2 choices per area for where you live. And the second choice is usually some shitty like municipal service or something that has basically you can't really go with because they have terrible service. Yeah. So you have to go with the big ISP. And so it's basically they're all monopolies, and they say that this is going to increase competition. It's not. It's going to allow them to take advantage of the people they already monopolize over, and then they pull out the thing like, oh well, the internet survived this long without regulation. Why do we need it now? Because the internet is fucking so different than what it used to be.
People rely on the internet 24/7 sometimes.
Like, the internet went from back in the day where you're like, oh, well, it wasn't regulated then and everything was good. Yeah, because back then, it was just a stupid little novelty thing where people had, web pages are cool. Oh, we could look at pictures. Oh, email? Email's cool. It's so much better than snail mail. Mm-hmm. Now, it's gone from that, back in the 90s and early 2000s, to something that's a major part of everybody's life. Mm-hmm. It is a big component to your everyday living as an individual, at least here in America.
Yeah.
Your phone is constantly connected to the internet. Your televisions are connected to the internet now.
Yeah, my fucking smart TV is connected to the internet. That blows my mind.
Everything uses the internet now. It is an indispensable part of everyday life. Mm-hmm. Which boggles my mind why people wouldn't agree then that it needs to be regulated as a utility, like electricity and water and stuff like that, because it's a necessary part of everybody's life. If you're like, well, the internet's not necessary. Yeah, you could go live in a log cabin somewhere, but when you're living in that log cabin, you don't have running water, you don't have electricity, shit like that. But yet those things are still utilities. Yeah, the internet's not, for some fucking reason. Yeah. Well, it is right now, but it's about to not be because fucking that stupid FCC chair is a son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make sense. It's a major part of everyone in America's daily life, and they just want to charge the shit out of you. But back to what I was originally saying before I got off that fucking tangent, is that I love you, Amazon Video, even though you're about to cost more for slower speeds, like not being able to stream as fast. I love you because I play a lot of, as you know, Final Fantasy 14. Yes. I'm a fan of the MMORPGs, and I'm a fan of Final Fantasy 14 in particular. Play a lot of it, and there's a lot of times where I find myself playing classes that aren't they're like gathering classes and crafting classes and stuff like that, and that can get boring. And I found. I realized I was always complaining on Discord because people were like, "Oh yeah, I just put on Netflix and I watch, I binge watch a television show while gathering or while leveling gatherers or crafting and stuff." And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. I would put it on my phone. I would just watch shit. And I was stuck thinking about Netflix because that's the big one everyone thinks of when they think. I was like, but I can't put Netflix on my phone because it's not my Netflix account, even though I'm probably the one that uses it the most. Mm-hmm. But it's I don't want to add more screens to the thing because even though Netflix is pretty cool about that, there is a point where they'll be like, hey, you have too many devices that are linked to this account. We're going to need you to drop a couple. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only one with access to the account. That there's at least 3 other people.
And yeah.
So I don't know how many devices they have it on. So I just have it on my PS4, and everything's good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't put it on my phone. Don't want to add to it. And then recently, I got hit with a surprise bill from not a surprise, but it's just I don't think about it because paying for Amazon Prime is once a year. Mm-hmm. It's $100 a year, and I was like, oh yeah, I just got my paycheck, and I looked, and I'm like, why is that lower than it should be? And then I was like, it instantly sparked. I'm like, that's about 100. Amazon. Completely forgot about it. Sure enough, it was an Amazon charge. And then I remembered Amazon's got their own video streaming service. They've got their own shows and everything.
Amazon Video.
Yeah. And I was like, I could put fucking Amazon Video on my phone. And boy, oh boy, has my gathering and crafting been so much more enjoyable.
With the Grand Tour being played in the background.
Yeah, being able to watch a bunch of movies. Being able to... Like I started watching Man in the High Castle.
I was about to say, I'm actually kind of curious about that show.
I enjoy it. The bits I've seen. I actually, when I started it, I started watching it, and I was like, oh, I really like this aesthetic. This is really cool. It seems to be a little, man. They really want you to know who the Man in the High. Like everyone knows the Man in the High Castle right off the bat, but they barely ever talk about it. Everyone's just like, Man in the High Castle? Oh, Man in the High Castle. And then I realized after watching 2 episodes that I had watched 2 episodes from season 2 because it had started me when I clicked on Man in the High Castle. The list that popped up was for season 2 because they just released season 2.
Oh my god!
And so without noticing that it was season 2, I had started watching season 2, and I was a little lost. I was like, "This is cool." I'm a little not getting it. I'm enjoying what's happening, but I'm a little out there. I'm a little lost. Then I realized, oh, this is season 2. I skipped a whole season, so I went back and I played. I haven't actually continued watching yet because I watched a bunch of movies since then. But yeah, I still have to go watch. But I enjoy it. It's really good.
I mean, since I have Amazon Video as well, the only reason I used it was because of the Grand Tour, because I love Clarkson, May, and Hammond. But I was thinking about watching The Man in the High Castle.
I was always a little... I don't know why I had this misconception, but I thought, like... I love the Netflix original series. Like, Netflix does a really good job making shows. They just...
80% of the time.
80%
There's that
of the
20% that's like, why did you make this?
Yeah, but still, 80% of the time. I mean, fucking American Vandal? Dude.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So good.
Good.
It's deceptively good.
American Vandal is pretty underrated because I don't think a lot of people have watched it.
I don't think anyone... Because the premise right off the bat is like, a kid making a documentary about someone who drew dicks on faculty cars.
If you actually watch it, you'll understand how
it's
great
good.
It is.
It's good. Watch American Vandal.
The whole fucking thing in one day.
Watch American Vandal. If you haven't watched American Vandal, you owe it to yourself. You
need to watch it.
Really good. But that being said, I love a lot of what Netflix produces because they do the old HBO thing. It's the reason why I love HBO, where they have someone come to them with an idea, and they're like, "We like that idea. Here's a bunch of money. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Go wild."
Yeah, basically. I'm sure there's a little bit of restrictions, but there's always going to be a little bit of restrictions. But they're basically like, you have control over this. We'll front the money. You make the show you want to make. Yeah. And I respect that, especially from aspiring content creators. That's something you really want to see. Yeah. That's why I always like HBO. HBO did that. It was like, we front the money. You make the show you want to make. We don't have to worry about censors or anything like that.
Boom.
Make what you want to do. And Netflix does the same thing. And Amazon, I foolishly thought that I was like, oh, Amazon Video, it's not Netflix, so their original shows probably aren't good. That's not true.
Yeah.
Amazon is a very wealthy company. They have a lot of money to throw at people. Not only are they the primary marketplace online for almost everyone's purchasing...
They're basically the Walmart of online services.
Yeah, but they also own things like Twitch. and all that. Like it's like they're very well off, so they have a lot of money to throw at content creators, and it shows. Like
And-
there's a decent amount of production value in Man in the High Castle.
Big Mouth was a mistake. Big Mouth was an absolute mistake. Because when you said that there are restrictions, it seems like they loosened those restrictions a bit for Big Mouth.
I don't
Cartoon
know.
drawings of dicks everywhere is getting a little too much for
See,
me.
I don't know. Yeah, but I actually don't think Big Mouth was a mistake. I think we enjoyed our time watching it.
Ooh, the fallopian
Into
tube. It means exactly what you think of.
Dude, I mean, if you actually think about it, Big Mouth is actually a pretty good little animated show.
It's good. I hate the animation. It's shit.
Yeah.
But the episodes
It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny in all the ways. Like I know I shouldn't be laughing, but
Oh my god.
I am. I mean, the hormone monster. It's just so good, dude.
Yep. Hormone
He's-
Monster is the best.
He's so good, and I love Nick Kroll's character. He's the magician kid,
Oh yeah.
and his whole family dynamic. Oh my god! I mean,
So perfect.
yeah, Big Mouth is a like I wouldn't qualify
He
Big Mouth as a
impregnated a
mistake.
fucking pillow.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that-
no, his brother impregnated
Oh,
the
his
pillow.
brother impregnated the pillow.
and he thought it was his.
And he's still saying, fuck it, I'm still gonna like
Yeah,
take care
I'm
of
still
the
gonna
baby.
raise it. And then he started fucking his bathroom mat, and it gave him a rash.
Oh. Oh, that
Yeah.
show is something else.
To someone who just listened to that and is like, "What the fuck is this show?" You should watch it.
It's quite a show.
It's quite a show.
The fact that Nick Kroll is responsible for practically everything involved in that show pretty much answers your question on what kind of show it is.
Yeah, I just love. I mean, I like Nick Kroll. He was never really a big name in my comedian
I
book.
just love
but-
how Nick Kroll voiced Lola in that character. So it's like, once you hear Lola, it's like, you know it's Nick Kroll. It's like, oh
It's
my
the
God.
same girl voice he does all the time
I
too. Have
know.
you ever watched
That's
like
what makes
the
it
Nick
better.
Kroll show? and
Yes. Oh my
shit?
god.
and then fucking John Mulaney is also a main character there. I love John Mulaney. I love John Mulaney. Salt and Pepper Diner. Oh my god.
And the fact that fucking
Too
Jordan-
much tuna. You remember that?
And the fact that fucking Jordan Peele's in that show as
Yeah.
well? Oh my god.
and fucking Jason Mantzoukas, another really funny motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who watch The League, he plays fucking I forgot his name, like Ralphie or something.
I don't know. I haven't
Um,
watched The League.
Oh god. You know, it's funny. It's funny. I understand.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix shows, I got a recent notification that they made season 3 of Broadchurch. There's a third season.
There's a third season of Broadchurch.
Yeah, it kept telling me over and over again. It's like, hey, now available on Netflix, Broadchurch season 3, and I'm like, what?
I don't think Netflix made that. That's a BBC show, so maybe
Maybe
BBC
they finally uploaded it on Netflix.
I guess we're gonna have to watch it since we watched all of Broadchurch in a single day, both seasons.
I just like making fun of
Yeah.
it. It's like,
You slept with a murderer.
You slept with a murderer. How does it make you feel? What happened, lady? What are you doing now that you slept with a murderer? Oh, now I'm the next Doctor in Doctor Who.
How did they make? Wait, she's the next Doctor, the main woman from Broadchurch.
Not the lawyer lady, not the police officer, but like the mother of like the one dude that got prisoned for like having sexual relations with that younger kid. Do you remember?
But she is the mother. She is the one who was married to the dude who.
Oh yeah, like that. No, not that lady. The lady that.
The lady that was the mother of the kid that got
Yes.
fucked.
Yes. That one.
That one.
Yeah,
okay.
she's the next Doctor in Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I wonder how they would do a season 3 of Broadchurch. I thought I mean, it's been a while since we watched it, so I can't really.
So, do you plead guilty? No. The fuck? We have all the proof. I'm gonna let this ride off as long as possible.
Didn't they like fucking? They forced him out of the town. They forced him out of the town. They threatened to like kill him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember at the end, like the like everything was done, like the whole case was solved. He came back, but the town basically forced him out. Like the whole story was wrapped up. I don't remember specifically if there was any kind of like open ends that they could make a season 3 off of, but I vaguely remember it being all like tied up in a neat little bow, so I don't know what a third season would go to.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Like, why would they make a second season of 13 Reasons Why when it's supposed to end after 1?
Did they?
No, like, they confirmed that they announced that they're making another season of 13 Reasons Why, but I'm like, why? 13 Reasons Why is based off a book, and it covered everything that happened in the book. The second season is just basically continuing where it left off, even though there is no story about what happens after the book.
So it's just continuation of the same...
Of like what's... They're just imagining with what's going to happen next.
The same characters, same scenario?
Same thing.
See, I already... Okay, with 13 Reasons Why, I didn't finish it. I never finished it, but I got close.
Okay, so this is what I think of the main character. The dude...
Yeah.
He looks like a typical employee at Panera Bread. If you see pictures of him everywhere, he looks like an employee at Panera Bread.
I loved what's his name, the biker, the gay biker,
the gay dude.
Yeah,
I love that
he
guy.
was the best.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but my impression of 13 Reasons Why and why there shouldn't be a second season, because by the point that I got in that show, which was near the end, I think I only had 1 or 2 episodes left.
Yeah, you had 1 more to go.
Yeah, I should have just bit the bullet and watched the last one. But by that point, I was like, part of me's glad this chick's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seemed to me there was a lot of her blaming everyone else for shit that she did.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's certain shit that she couldn't
have any control over.
Yeah, exactly. So there was definitely bad shit that happened to her, and that that she had no control over and was just terrible. But a lot of the shit the way she phrased the tapes and stuff, I was like, okay, you self-righteous bitch. We get it. You didn't like some of the things that happened, so you went into the nuclear option and killed yourself. So by the end of it, I was like, I kind of sympathize with this girl, but most of me is like, ugh.
I need some Panera Bread.
Yeah, like, I understand, and some people are like, well, you don't know what intensely mentally disturbed is, or something like that. And yeah, I guess I could never really sympathize with where this girl's headspace was at.
Yeah.
But from an outsider looking in, it was just like, ugh. Like, yeah, I mean, it sucks that you offed yourself, but I'm not... You don't seem like a kind of person I would have wanted to know.
Uh-huh.
And then here comes a season 2, where it's like, how much... At least for me, like, how... If this makes me an asshole, this probably makes me an asshole, but, like, I don't know how much further... Well, I mean, I know I can't take it any further, but how much further most people would be able to sympathize with them dragging out this girl.
I don't think it involves the girl that committed suicide.
But it involves everyone else?
It
Are they
involves,
still
like,
dealing with her suicide, though?
No.
Oh.
This is like a different story, apparently.
Okay.
Okay, to me,
Okay.
this is going to be a hit or miss.
Yes.
There could be a slight chance that it could actually be good.
Yeah. There's always that chance.
There's always that chance, but I'm leaning more towards the fact that it's just going to fucking bomb.
Because
like, you can't make a story based off like another of the show that's based on a book, and that was the end of the book. You can't like continue off from there.
I think a talented writer can do it. I don't want to just say that it's impossible to improve upon the book.
Before you get to that conclusion, let me remind you that the person that directed this show was Selena Gomez.
Well, I was going to get to this. I was going to say that it's not impossible to create a fully, have a show where the first season covers the entirety of a book that it's based off, and then have a second season that's fully that writer's interpretation upon the world.
Yeah.
I think you can totally have a successful, even great second season that has nothing to do with an actual source material and just takes place in this world.
Yeah.
And as long as it's a talented writer doing it. That being said, for 13 Reasons Why, I didn't think that those writers were that talented when I was watching the show. I thought they were all right, but I don't think they can pull off an original work
for a second season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a good conclusion to that. Wow, that's a lot. We've already been past an hour.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 6 minutes.
Oh, I guess we'll call it.
Yep.
We should call it.
We're calling it.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us after a 3-week hiatus.
Yep. Thanksgiving. Understandable. Thanksgiving got in the way.
Thanksgiving got in the way. We could have made one last week, but
we had to be there for our families.
Had to chow down on turkey.
Oh yeah, lots of turkey.
Yep, and go watch a Twilight Zone marathon.
I didn't actually catch any of it.
Oh, I didn't either.
I saw the fucking Macy's Day Parade, and me and Zach and Josh were sitting back there just making fun of all the people lip syncing, because every single artist that was on a float singing was lip syncing. They pre-recorded the performances, and then
boo.
And so we're having a great time pointing out every time where they missed the sync and all that, and it was great.
We're exposing all you motherfuckers, one by one. All right, see you.
See you.